They're not sending their best. They're sending people that have lots of problems. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people.
Hey everyone, welcome to the show. I have awesome news to share today. After a 2-week trial and only 6 hours of deliberation, the jury found former Republican State Senator Frank Artiles guilty on almost every single count in the ghost candidate case in Florida. So for those who aren't familiar with this case, Artiles was charged with numerous crimes after it came out that he paid another man to be a fake candidate in the 2020 election. So yes, there was fraud in the 2020 election. It was just perpetrated by the Republicans. A ghost candidate, by the way, is someone who's basically not running to win. They throw their hat in the ring just for the sole purpose of siphoning votes away from another candidate to allow a third candidate to win. So Artiles paid a man named Alex Rodriguez, promised him $50,000. He ended up paying him over time approximately $45,000 to run in a Florida district to peel away votes from the Democrat and to help the Republican win. And it worked. The Republicans' fake mailers, or this Rodriguez guy who ran, his fake mailers said that he was a registered independent. He switched his registration right before he filed to run. And the flyer that he was sending out, which was funded by Republican groups, covert Republican groups, it basically made it out like he had progressive values. And so, he was going to take on the Democrat in the race. And so he was able to take several thousand votes away from the incumbent Democrat, and he handed the win to Republican Ileana Garcia. She won by only 32 votes. Don't even get me started on that piece of work. Garcia is a woman who said that people could outgrow being gay. That, once you grow up, you just are not gay anymore. I guess maybe she knew. Like, how did she know that? Did she do that? I mean, that's what I always ask people when they're like, being gay is a choice. Like, well, when did you make that decision? And then inevitably they go, well, I didn't make a decision. I always knew I was straight. Exactly. Thank you. So anyway, this woman also submitted a bill when Donald Trump was in, the heat of all of his legal fights. She tried to put that burden on the Florida taxpayers. She submitted a bill to try to get Florida taxpayers to cover up to $5 million of Donald Trump's legal fees. It didn't pass, luckily, but she is a truly heinous person. And she did not legitimately win her seat, but obviously she has no ethics, so she remains there. Anyway, after being charged, Rodriguez admitted to the scheme. He accepted a cooperation deal. So last week, the prosecutor was done with him and all of their other witnesses. So the defense cross-examined him, and basically they tried to say that Rodriguez made the whole thing up, that Artiles tried to, was just trying to help this guy. He's just so great. He's so generous. He's giving Rodriguez all this money to help him out. It had nothing to do with the election. Problem for Artiles was there was a lot of documentary evidence. They had, the Facebook outreach that he made to Rodriguez. He reached out to him asking him, hey, give me a call. I want to run something past you. Artiles also was the one who submitted the candidate forms on behalf of Rodriguez. And then also, Artiles has very loose lips when he drinks. This has been a problem for him for quite a while. He actually got booted, Artiles did, from the state Senate because he had this racist meltdown in front of 2 of his Black colleagues. And in regard to this case, Artiles was overheard on election night in a bar claiming responsibility for Ileana Garcia's win. And as you might recall, there was a Republican strategist who testified that he had hired Artiles, paid him a total of $90,000 to help Republicans win these races. And this was shortly before Rodriguez became a candidate. Also, Rodriguez was broke. And he admitted that. He's like, this is why I did it, because I'm broke. I needed the money. So the prosecutor was able to show that Artiles gave Rodriguez $2,000 to open a campaign account, and he went with him to the bank to open that account. So Artiles was found guilty of making excessive campaign contributions totaling over $26,000, it was almost $27,000. He was also convicted on one count of conspiring to make campaign contributions, one count of procuring the falsification of a candidate oath form, and he was acquitted on the charge of procuring falsification of a voter registration form. Now, that last charge where he was acquitted, that stemmed from Rodriguez lying about which district he lived in. So Rodriguez admitted during the trial, Artiles didn't actually instruct him to lie about that. He chose to do that. He used an old driver's license when he registered as a candidate so that he could qualify for the race, because he used to live in that area, he used to live in that district, but he had moved. So Artiles is scheduled to be sentenced sometime after October 21st, but his attorney vowed to appeal this decision. As they were leaving the courthouse, he made that statement. So as always, I will definitely let you know how this all shakes out, but very good news after the whole Trump train debacle. So it is actually looking like Florida might be a little bit more legitimate and honest. You know, their jurors, especially, instead of Texas. It's looking like Texas is moving to the top of the list of the most corrupt and, you know, having the worst, most unethical, I would say, liars on the jury or willing to accept lies. So anyway, I will let you know what happens. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. Please like, please share, and subscribe to the channel. Please donate if you can. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.